I gotta look at my soundboard over here anyways. What's going on, everybody? Welcome in over on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. We're going to hit live. We're going to go live on Twitter Spaces today so we can bring in people off Twitter Spaces. I'm not sure if that's going to work, but we're going to see how this works out. Want to invite people. People will join as listeners first. Sure. We'll bring in Blake. Is that music you?
No.
That music is not you? What the hell is that music?
How would I have control over the music?
Hold on. Oh. Look at, dude, that is so weird. Okay, so on Twitter Spaces, it has music like automatically starting. How do I shut the music off? Give me 1 second, folks. End that music. This will end the conversation. No, cancel that. All right, how the hell? Oh, okay. So when I mute this, it like mic is on. I mute the mic. Okay. Do me a favor real quick, Gary.
What do you need?
You're on Twitter, right?
Not at the moment. Could
you get on Twitter and just go to the Mark G Show and try joining the Twitter Spaces? You probably have to do it from your phone, though.
Yeah, I'm doing it on my phone.
Before, folks, this is the background scene before we start the podcast. And this podcast starts, you'll actually hear the intro. All we're doing right now is just to make sure everything is working. I got to make sure the Twitter Spaces is working and people can hear me. And then we'll go from there. There's a magic wand. Wow. You got a soundboard? I like my soundboard better. Change how your audience hears you by selecting a voice track. Oh, wow. All right, Twitter Spaces. I see you, Twitter Spaces. I see you. Interesting. Yeah, all I want to do is make sure that the Twitter Spaces audio is working. Because normally you see a person's voice, it'll light up when they're talking. So I just want to make sure that is.
So how do I know? How do I find your Twitter space?
So I can probably invite you. 1 second here.
Oh, wait, right here, I think. Hold on, live. No, this is just you live.
Okay, yep. Hold on 1 second here. Let me go to ow. Okay, yep. We are going to take care of that right now. We're going to put my phone on sleep mode. So that'll do that. I'm going to invite a co-host. I'm going to invite listener. All right, invite co-host, and I'm going to invite you in, Gary. Hold on. What's your Twitter? Gary.
No,
I didn't spray nothing. Hold on. Is it G-Law?
No, it's G_ last name.
Okay. 1 second here. Let me invite you in here. All right, there you go. I'm going to send a speaker invite. And we'll see if that works.
Oh, live right now, listener. Okay.
Yeah. Come live as a listener. You're in? Okay. Yep. Let me know if you can hear my audio through your phone. All right, cool. You can leave out of it. I just want to make sure that was working. I mean, unless you want to mute it and just watch the people if we get anybody to come in. I don't really know if we're going to get anybody to come in here.
That's all good.
All right. So we're good. So we got all that working. I think we're ready to go live.
All right.
All right. You ready for this?
No.
I love it. All right. I'm gonna hit the record button and hit the intro. Fuck it. Let's do it. It's been a month and a half, man.
All right. And just fucking go.
Let's fucking go. Let's do it. Here we go. Oh shit. This should be fun. 2, 3.
A lot of podcasts these days. Tippy toe around everybody's little feelings. The little snowflakes are fragile. But you won't get any of that crap here. Welcome to the Mark G Show. From political issues to cultural issues to current events and everything in between, we're talking about it. And we talk about it how we want, melting the little snowflakes. This is the Mark G Show, and this is Mark G.
Oh my God, I think that's me. Holy shit. I can't believe we're live right now. What's going on, Caramore? I see you over on Facebook. How are you? Wow. You guys, it's been like a month and a half. The last time we signed off was right before Christmas when Gary had to go to good old California. And since then, we just haven't been able to get on because my business has driven us away from everything because my business is sucking the life out of me. But it's the wonders of being a business owner. Working 7 days a week is taking a tamper. But we're going to try to do this podcast on an every other week basis. So it'll be 2 weeks from today from the next recording. By then, Gary should be leveled out with his graphics. And the same with me. Our graphics are a little off today because we're a little out of shape. I've done a lot of streaming lately on, TikTok and Twitch, but doing it here for you guys in the podcast is a little bit different. And there's a little bit more that goes into work for the podcast. So please bear with us during this stream. I promise you in 2 weeks, we'll come back even better and stronger. Gary and I will get together sometime during the day and we'll just play around with our settings and make sure we're good to go from there. With all further ado, brother, what is going on, my man?
What is happening? And yeah, it's been a minute, man. And I did take my camera with me, so I fucked with the settings and I made it all basically for shooting photos. So I gotta recalibrate for streaming. Got to figure it out again.
I see that. We got this lovely little face in a square right now.
I got a little square. It's orange as shit. My tripod is at a weird ass height. Everything is wonky right now.
It happens. It happens. So everybody listening in today, I do want to let you know, if you're following me on Twitter, we are live on Twitter Spaces today, which is pretty cool because with Twitter Spaces, you can actually join in on our conversation if you want to come in and talk with us, or maybe you want to chime in with the current conversation with your opinions. Feel free to jump in on Twitter Spaces. This is something new I wanted to try out and see how it works out. But there's a lot that's happened. Actually, there's been a lot that's happened in the full month and a half. The last time we left you guys, we were talking about the Twitter files. We're so far behind on the Twitter files. I know everybody's already caught up on your end, so we're really not going to recap what's going on the Twitter files. All I'm going to say to all you liberals out there in the Twitter files is, I told you so. I told you so. I am not a conspiracy theorist after all. Now,
all the conspiracies keep coming true.
They do. It's funny, man, how that happens. But yeah, but it's always silent on the left. Even though they're coming true, the left is still so silent that they're not speaking out.
Right.
It's crazy. But I'm not here to bash on the left too much today. I'm really here because there's some interesting stuff happening. So just over the weekend, before I even get to the whole Chinese spy balloon and bitch about how Biden didn't take it out earlier, let's talk about the cold spike that a lot of places in the United States are having, from major ice storm. I believe it was in Texas, where it was like 2 inches of ice in Texas, to sub-zero weather in the state of Maine, something that they haven't seen since 1930s. And they actually broke that record this weekend. It was a negative 45-degree wind chill just in Portland, Maine, which is one of the largest cities of the state of Maine. Negative 45 wind chill. It's crazy. What's causing this weather? Is it global warming, or is it Mother Nature just taking her course? And the reason why I'm stating that is right now, for the next week, I believe it's for a full week or maybe 2 weeks, there's this green comet that has not been seen since Neanderthal. I'm going to so fuck it up. Fucking Gary say. There we go. Yes, those days. And now it's come back to make its another pass around the earth. And you got to think about that. Things that happen in space has its play here on earth. It really does. The moon has its play on our ocean. That's why we have high tide, low tide, and so forth. Astronomical highs. That's why we have these high tides. So could this green comet that's going through right now be causing a lot of this sub-zero below freezing, weather, the ice storms in Texas. Could it have some type of play in that? Could Mother Nature be playing with something? Or could it be because our scientists are playing God a little bit too much? And I'm saying that because woolly mammoths are coming back, man. They are playing Jurassic Park right now as science.
Bruh.
Dude, are we gonna start seeing the T-Rex walking around the streets of fucking, Los Angeles or freaking, I mean, seriously, man, the movies come true. Movies come true.
Art mimics life, or life mimics art, or whatever it is, right?
Yeah. Like there's some crazy shit happening right now, man. And it really makes you wonder. They always say history tends to repeat itself, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got
Yep.
this green comet. We've been through the ice age before. That's how the Earth has kind of done its whole thing. Now, I'm not saying we're in the ice age or we're getting ready to go through the ice age, but we are seeing some different weird weather patterns happening in states that they never happened in before. Could we eventually see a pattern where weather does rotate in different states to change them out, and that's going to be how they deal with for the next 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 years?
You know what's weird? I
What's that?
remember when I lived in southern Maine, uh it must have been like the end of summer coming up on fall. And I remember I was like, I don't know why I was thinking this, but I was like a kid. I was probably like 6 or 7 or something. And I was just like, so I was just beginning to realize we have seasons, right? Like, so you have these 4 different seasons every year. And then I was thinking to myself, it's not going to be like this forever. Like, it's right now we have snow in December for Christmas, but that's not going to be like that forever.
Right.
And I don't know why I was thinking that as like a 5-year-old, but I was like, eventually, like, you're not going to have a bunch of snow during Christmas. It's just not how it's going to be. But
Right.
like the earth has its seasons, not just like the 4 per year. You know what I mean? Like, what if it's like every 100 years, that's a season?
Right.
What if we're either entering or leaving one of those seasons? Right.
True. Yeah. I mean, the earth changes always, and it's not global warming. Can I say that? Yeah, maybe the smog and stuff like that does have a little play in it, maybe a small, tiny play in it, but the earth is forever changing. It truly is. If you go back in the history from dinosaurs, ice age to all this stuff, the
Mm-hmm.
earth is constantly changing. It goes through its recycling stage.
Yep.
Could it be going through a recycling stage now? Could we be seeing that recycling stage happen in our time? We could be. Is it something that we in our who are in our 30s and 40s see before we die? Maybe not. Is it something that our children see? Maybe, or maybe our grandchildren. Good possibility. This is the stuff like we really got to look at. It's Earth, man. Earth
Mm-hmm.
is going to change. We can't control it. We don't know. We can only guess what scientists tell us. And then scientists playing God. I got to go back to that woolly mammoth thing because that thing, dude, come
Dude,
on. Like, this is playing God by now. This is playing Jurassic Park. And Carmore, I do remember you telling me about how you chase storms and stuff. That is very interesting. But no, seriously, like, woolly mammoth, dude. The scientists are gonna friggin' take an embryo and put it in an African elephant and try to get a woolly mammoth, come back, and then they're gonna put it out in the Antarctica. How many of these are they gonna breed? Are they gonna try to breeding like a male and a female so they can continuously breed?
that'd be
And
dope.
the Antarctica is full of woolly mammoths.
Do it.
Okay.
Have
But
fun with that.
will they stop there though? Would they
No, they're not. They definitely will not stop there. We're going to start, dude, we're entering in a really fucked up, weird era. It's going to be crazy, dude. The next 40 years are going to be so lit.
Well, and they are
AI,
like,
fucking, it's all going to be bananas, dude.
Well, the
I'm
AI,
sorry.
there is a McDonald's. I don't know what state it is, but there is a McDonald's already fully operational by AI. There is no humans that work at this McDonald's. It's all robotic. You order your food. It
There
cooks
has to be
it.
people
No,
working there.
there's not a single person
There
working.
has to be. Who's
There is.
running the kitchen? How is stuff getting
It's
started?
being cooked by the damn freaking
But
robot.
how is it being cleaned? Like the shit is not being turned on and off by itself every day. There has to be humans on site somewhere.
Somewhere. I'll look more
There
into it.
has to be.
We'll wait the 2-week process. When we come back, we'll talk. Like, I just recently heard about this. I was like, no shit. Like, seriously, a fully
I
operational.
mean, look, I think you're ordering and you're picking up your food from a bunch of droids. But I honestly feel like the cooking part, I mean, that's
know.
very unsafe to have just a machine doing it without like being overlooked by a person to like make sure.
Quality checking.
I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm fucking being naive about this, but I feel like you might want a human to be verifying that what the robot is doing is what it's supposed to be, you know?
Right.
But
They
again, I
clone
could
the
be
cow.
tripping. They
Carmore
did clone a cow.
They have cloned a cow. I remember the cow, but a woolly mammoth is a whole nother level, Cara.
Dude, I want to see it.
I definitely like. I'm interested in seeing it, but I'm also scared.
Why?
Because what could
What's
they
a wolf
create next?
ever
Like,
done to you?
a woolly mammoth has never done anything to me,
Right.
but
Don't be a
to,
bitch.
like obviously they're,
I'm just kidding.
they're not going to stop there though, dude. If
No,
they're
they're not.
cloning a woolly mammoth, what next prehistoric animal will they try to? Now, mind you, they're doing the woolly mammoth because they want to help with climate. I don't know what the woolly mammoth can do with the climate.
Yeah.
That was like in the article, it was mentioned the woolly mammoth is being cloned to help climate scenarios, but I don't know what a woolly mammoth will do for
Yeah.
that.
How is that a solution?
Exactly. So
That's
what are they
a
going to do
weird
now? A
argument.
pterodactyl? Can you imagine them getting a pterodactyl?
Dude, pterodactyl would be
There we go,
fucking
pterodactyl.
terrifying. Imagine being in a 747 and an organic entity is like trying to take that shit down as you're taking off. That would be so wild, man.
Fucking getting in an airplane, going on a flight, and seeing one of those fuckers flying next to you, just
Oh, dude,
walking.
I'd be so terrified personally. I'd be so scared.
I wouldn't get on an airplane ever again.
I'm
Wow.
already not a big fan of flying, you know?
Oh, dude, I love it. I do. I don't know what it is. I think it's the thrill of flying and not knowing. Not knowing when
There's
I
a lot
get on
more
that
things
plane.
that are thrilling.
I don't know though. Like when you get on that plane, granted, planes are safe, right? They are essentially safer than getting behind a wheel of a vehicle. They're that
Yeah.
much, safer. But
Yeah.
it's still the thrill of getting on that airplane and not knowing if you're going to make it to your destination.
See, I don't
Not
like that.
if you go down in the middle of the ocean or go
I'm not a
down.
fan of that.
It's a thrill for me.
Not
It's
a
like
fan, dude.
going on an amusement park ride, man.
No, that's vastly different. Like an amusement park ride, you wait 45 minutes in line for 7 minutes of fun at most, and then you're done. And then you go to the next one.
Well, this one's like the world's longest amusement park.
Yeah,
Can I get on
14
the
hours
plane?
of you might die.
6 hours for me because I am only flown to California. So 6 hours of just sitting there looking down at the sky, going, "Geez, if we were to blow an engine right now,
I
where would
feel
we-"
like when you're up there, that's probably the safest point to be. I think taking off and landing is like if shit's gonna go wrong, that's when it goes wrong.
It is and it isn't. If you get a bird that flies through the engine, blows out your engine,
You're done.
Yeah.
You're done. You can't
So-
recover from that.
See, why? Here's my question. This is so weird, you guys. This is what happens when we do these podcasts. We have weird conversations, especially when
We're
haven't
talking about
got-
pterodactyls here. Hold on.
If God wanted me to fly, He would have given me wings.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Right? Red Bull. Hey, Red Bull was sued for that. Remember that?
Were they?
Yeah, someone sued Red Bull because that's why Red Bull don't have that commercial anymore. They got sued
Why?
because someone said they didn't get wings. Like
That
someone
can't be
really said-
real.
No,
That's
it's
not
100%, 100% real.
No way.
Google that shit right now.
Oh,
Yes,
fuck
it's
no.
100% real, man. Google that shit. Red Bull got sued because
Red Bull has been using the slogan for over 20 years. They had to pay out $13 million because someone accused the company of false advertising. $13 million. Red Bull
Dude.
gives you wings.
I'm telling you, if you want to make a quick buck and you don't mind looking shamelessly freaking guilty as fuck, find something for an advertisement. Know that it's false and they're just using it for a gimmick, and sue the piss out of them. You're gonna walk away a millionaire. There's your freaking Powerball winnings.
Okay, so the company settled the false advertising class action lawsuit requiring it to pay individuals who purchased a can of the sweet beverage. This is what they had to do. They had to pay people who bought Red Bull $10, or they could give them $15 in Red Bull products.
Yeah, I got a free case of Red Bull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You took action in that lawsuit?
Dude, it was fucking free Red Bull.
Such a dipshit,
It was
dude.
free Red Bull. I saw the ad. I was like,
I
oh,
hate you so much. I fucking hate you, dude.
It was free Red Bull, man.
Oh my god.
I don't drink it no more. Like I still drink my Bangs here and there, but I don't drink it anymore because I was doing some more research and like there's some interesting stuff about there about energy drinks actually thickening your blood. Like the Red Bull Monster and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I
fuck all those things.
The Gorilla Glue girl, right? Yes, Cara Moore, the Gorilla. I remember that girl.
Oh, see, that chick is an idiot. That woman, God fucking man. She's an idiot.
She's an absolute fucking idiot.
She didn't win that lawsuit, did she?
I don't know. I did not follow that.
Now I'm gonna have to Google that.
Google it. You see if the Gorilla Glue girl won her lawsuit. This should be interesting. I remember seeing the TikTok. Like the TikTok just made me fall on the floor laughing my ass off. He's looking it up, folks. While he's looking it up, guys and girls, we were talking about the green comet, went into woolly mammoths. Now we're talking about stupid fucking lawsuits. Welcome to the Mark G Show, where we're off with one topic, and we have ADD and ADHD kind of methods when we do this podcast, and we're going to veer way off subject. But I promise you, we'll try making it interesting for you. Cara Moore says she's making bank. Have you found anything on the lawsuit yet?
No.
Interesting. Twitter Spaces is quiet. We're gonna have to run the Twitter Space every time we do it, see if we can get more people in here. That is fucking hilarious, though. Like the Gorilla Glue girl, the Gorilla Glue girl. Say that 10 times fast.
Gorilla Glue girl. That's a tough one, right?
That is. That's a major tongue twister right there. Like, I don't know. That's funny as shit. And then, of course, there's so many other stupid lawsuits out there. So many stupid shit that kids have tried. Our generation is dumbed down. The new generation has dumbed down. I shouldn't say our generation, but the new generation has dumbed down quite a bit, and it's scary. And it's because of apps like TikTok. And it's because of YouTube Shorts. I mean, it really is. It's the internet making us stupid. I love the internet. I'm a game streamer. I'm part of the problem, not the solution. I 100% agree with that. But I was just talking on TikTok yesterday after we shot down the Chinese spy balloon there. And we'll talk about that here in just a second and my thought process on that. And my tinfoil hat will come on for a minute with that one as well. But we were talking about the difference between the American version of TikTok and the Chinese version of TikTok. Do you know the difference of that one, Gary?
I mean, I know what I heard. I don't know what the truth is, though. But so what I heard was I couldn't find anything in that Gorilla Glue girl. So I'll look at that later. No, but what I found was basically like if you're in Asia or if you're in China, TikTok is basically providing content for young kids that shows them being successful in science, shows them being successful in all of these like academia things, where just like it continues to like promote and like uplift the youth, right? And then if you're looking at TikTok, in the Western countries or whatever, or just whoever fucking is not China, they're basically just a bunch of kids doing like a bunch of stupid TikTok dances and challenges, and it's just like really like degrading type of content where it's not showing like medical stuff, science stuff, educational stuff, uplifting stuff. It's just
Right.
it's like the complete opposite.
Yeah, yeah. So it's educational over in China, and over here it's way beyond that, and it's
Yeah, it's pretty
people.
pathetic.
So I noticed today they have a gel named Gorilla Glue now. Oh dear God.
Oh Jesus.
You know, shout out to them, man. I do own some Gorilla tape. I will say I do have some Gorilla tape. That tape is fucking awesome. And the double-sided Gorilla tape, the
Mhm.
waterproof one. Oh man, that's some good stuff.
Yeah, I like Gorilla products. Their glue is legit. Their tape is ridiculous.
Right?
They're dope. Yeah.
They are. So, folks, I'm putting on my invisible tinfoil hat. I was gonna make one, but I didn't have enough time for it. Sorry. But I'm putting on my invisible tinfoil hat right now. Let's talk about the Chinese spy balloon that Chinese say was a weather balloon, highly doubtful. Um, but number one, my first question is before I put on my tinfoil hat, really, is why didn't the United States blow the fucker to smithereens when it was approaching Alaska? Why didn't we knock it out then? We
I
suck.
heard. Now I don't know. Again, I have no idea how accurate this is, but I heard that even during Trump's presidency, there was at least 3 other Chinese weather spy balloons that were cruising over the states.
Really?
Yeah, and we never even did anything about that at
We
that
never
time.
even heard about it then.
Correct.
So that's interesting. So why would we hear about this now?
Well,
Now here's the reason why I think we're hearing about it now. Hold on, what do we got here? Alex Sharp. World War III is right around the corner. Alex,
Yep.
you know it's funny. We will talk about that because my brother and I were having a good conversation about that. Not Tom. We will get there. Just give me a second here to talk about this this spy balloon. We'll go from there. So one of the concepts is why I'm think we're hearing about it now
Mhm.
is what was going on in the news? What was every reporter talking about before this whole spy balloon came up?
Pterodactyls.
No, like seriously, we were finding secret documents, high level documents inside the Biden.
Oh, like on the Hunter stuff?
No, not the Hunter stuff.
Oh, the Biden's fucking classified documents and all
Yes, the
that shit?
classified documents in the Biden, and all of
Yeah.
a sudden that went radio silent.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
here
yeah.
comes the spy balloon
Yeah, yeah.
by China, and now the world is focused on the spy balloon, and now we've lost, well, attention to the classified documents that were being found in almost every house that Biden has, every freaking
Shortest
vacation.
attention span ever is the American fucking people, dude.
It is like they sidetracked from that. So there's that to look at. Could that have been a straight diversion? Could the balloon been in China's, or could the balloon been American? And
Well, China's already like responded, right? So they said that it is theirs, and they said that it blew off course, and they said that it was civilian. They said it wasn't a spy thing. I don't
Right.
believe any of it.
No, well, here's the thing. Let's talk about China and Biden. Here's the thing where YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. All right, wait a minute. Wait, before I go any further.
Hold on.
Stop everything, folks. Welcome to the Mark G Show. Facebook. YouTube. I do want to advise everybody, everything that you are hearing on this show right now is the views and opinions of myself, my brother, and the guests that come on the show, and is for entertainment purposes only. Please do with the information as you please and do your own research. Once again, this is for informational purposes only. Entertainment purposes only. Entertainment purposes only. Okay, now back to the regularly scheduled programming. Okay, so Biden has ties with China. It's been out there. We know it. We've been called
And Ukraine.
and Ukraine. We've been called conspiracy theorists on this, but it's all in Hunter Biden's laptop. And they just recently admitted that Hunter Biden's laptop is true. We got chat coming in like crazy. He can get away with anything. Yeah, right. Biden is a snake that needs its head stopped. I would not disagree with y'all. I would like to admit that almost that's 90% of the politicians too. I'd say there's only like a small 10% of politicians out there that's truly for the American people.
That's a fact.
Um, and we'll get into that. So you're talking about World War III. You're right. I believe somewhere in the near future, and I believe we're going to see it within our time. For all of us that are alive right now, I believe we will see war in our time. But before I do further, I'm veering away. Look, back to the balloon, Mark. Back to the balloon. Okay, back to the damn balloon. We blew up the balloon. We hit the balloon with a fucking missile. We fucking knocked that fucker out of the air.
Yep.
They said they scanned the balloon and made sure there was no radioactive shit inside the balloon, so there was going to be no possible radiation or whatever fallout from it. Great. If we only scanned it for that, what's to say that there wasn't a powder substance inside of that balloon that you can easily stick in a balloon like that, or glass vials inside of that balloon with whatever liquid, poster, whatever. So when it hits and the wind carries it out, could it have some type of infection? Once again, this is my tinfoil hat. I'm not saying that's true.
That would have to be, and I'm following this. You know, I could lean into this one too, but we would have to assume that the Chinese would expect that this balloon or these balloons be shot down. So I'm not saying it's not a possibility, but it's like that would have to be like some 3D chess shit right there for them to like, oh, we're gonna do this, and then they're gonna, unless it's part of the plan.
Right.
It's either 3D chess or part of the plan, or it's none of the above. I don't know.
Elections next year.
Ooh.
Elections next year. So what's to say that we're Biden with his hands inside of China and partnering up with China? This was the whole thing after all. And we shot it down. Now we release this new virus or this new thing that's going to start hitting in the next 30 to 60 days and start building up to something where now we have a national emergency, kind of like with what happened with COVID. And we start seeing all this stuff happening now, which will start and change, make them make all these new rules for a certain type of election, or maybe hold, and knowing them, try to hold off election. Like,
right.
These are tinfoil hat ideas. Like, this is obviously possible, more than likely 99.9% not likely to happen, but there's that small 1% chance that could have been the thought process. Remember, the big guy, aka Biden. Okay, so remember that. Like, these are just thought processes in my head.
The most popular president ever.
Think of all those people that were on that beach that day filming that balloon. I watched one of my buddies out there, Bubba Henson, on TikTok. I'm going to give him a shout out. Why not? Bubba Henson was live out there, filmed it, caught the missile being shot out, and caught the missile hitting the balloon and coming down. So, you know, there was a lot of people out on that beach that day. All it takes is affecting a few to affect millions.
Yep.
You affect 5, you can affect millions easily. Everybody goes to work, everybody touches things, everybody breathes on things, and that virus can spread quickly. Now, the one virus I wouldn't mind seeing, to be honest with you, I'd love to see a zombie apocalypse come. I've been dreaming of that day forever. I wouldn't mind seeing a zombie apocalypse. I'm going to get caught up real quick, folks. We're going to take a quick second here as I get caught up on this chat. I'm going to go off, folks. If you've been typing, we're going to go through. We're going to start with Alex Sharp. I believe I already read this one. Alex Sharp said World War III is right around the corner. Leanne Sharp says, I dealt that with Trump. She was talking about when we were talking about that, the Trump with the balloons. Leanne Sharp says, Biden get away with anything. Cara Moore says, yeah, right. She must have been responding to one of our parts. Al Sharp says, Biden is a snake that needs its head stomped in the ground. Leanne Sharp coming out with, but not a single Democrat. Yeah, not a dingle Democrat, Dingleberry, Mark. Not a single Democrat. Should have been shot when we first seen it. Yes, I would 100% agree with you on that one as well, Alex. We should have shot that down when we first saw it coming over Alaska. And that's why it makes me question certain things. And that's why I put on my tinfoil hat. Wonder if there was more of a reasoning for that flying around and more of a reason why we shot it down in North Carolina when we did. There's things that make you say, things that make you tick or just think. Yep, so he can win again. Exactly, Leanne Sharp. More stupid than Bing. What was that? Oh, BJ. That must be a emoji that came up on that one.
Oh.
More stupid than big. Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you know, it's just when you put on that tinfoil hat, you think of stuff like that. It just makes you think. So, and I always tell people to have an open mind on this thing. Like, even I wish a lot of liberals had an open mind. Instead, they have a one sidetrack mind, right? And even a lot of Democrats do too. So don't get me wrong. Both liberals and Democrats have this. If you're hardcore, you have this one sidetrack mind, and you can't keep that open mind on certain aspects of things and overlook it and overthink. Democrats seem to overthink and think more than a liberal because a liberal thinks it's this way or that way or it's too offensive. And we live in a world that's way too pussyfied.
Way too much fucking bubble wrap and safety foam on things right now. Like people, we need to get back to scuffing your knees and not worrying about your pronouns. Like
Right.
you ask anybody at any other section of the planet where life is real, and you tell them that people are complaining about pronouns and like made up genders, the people will say like, oh, so life is so good and so comfortable that they're making up and they're creating problems for themselves. And that's exactly what's happening here in America. Life is so fucking good that you're creating problems. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Well, I saw a meme. I shared it today on Facebook. It was talking about I died when I was a kid, and my mom freaking revived me and told me to walk it off. We drank out of hoses when we were kids.
Dude.
You didn't care.
Yeah.
We were thirsty.
I read that and someone was like,
and drank right out of the.
why were you drinking out of hoses? Like, because we were locked out of our fucking house. Like, we got home from school and we had to wait outside until 6 o'clock when the parents got home. It's called latchkey kids. We had to fucking figure out how we were going to survive the elements of the weather, whether it was snow, hot as shit, doesn't matter, raining or whatever.
Right.
You find someone's house, you go hang out, you drink out of the fucking hose, you ride your bike, play in the dirt, whatever. You know what I mean? It wasn't.
Or the weekend would come and you're finally off of school, and as soon as you're done eating your breakfast, your parent looks at you and says, "All right, get the fuck out of the house and don't come back till the street lights come on."
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they wanted their time to themselves, so they kicked you out. We didn't have these video games and all this internet stuff to keep us entertained in the house and our bedrooms locked away. Our
Dude,
parents kicked our asses out. We had
you ride your bike to all your 8 friends' houses to find out where all the bikes are at. And if you go to everyone's houses and there's no pile of bikes out front, then you start going to the parks.
Yep,
It takes you 3 hours to find your friends. You know what I mean?
exactly.
You're cruising around before you can figure out where the fuck everyone is.
And you play stupid games back when you're kids. I was just telling somebody how my stepbrother Ben used to have BB gun wars. We literally had the pump action BB gun. You'd pump that fucker up 10 times and shoot each other with it and hope to God you didn't fucking get an eyeball and go blind. I mean, Ben still has this indent in the tip of his nose from when a BB got shot and hit him right in the nose, and it fucking stuck in his nose.
Yeah. Every kid that I knew had casts on their arms or the legs, and it wasn't because they were frail. It's because they were going hard. They were jumping fucking trash cans with their bikes, or like just climbing trees and just being kids exploring shit. You'd fall down and get hurt and break your arm. And then it was cool as fuck because everyone got to sign your cast. It was
Right.
dope.
Or like people break the what the fuck? That must be a plate.
Sorry.
Or, or when your kid did break their arm back then, the schools and didn't call DHS and say, "Oh my God, that child's being abused." Now the teachers say, "Johnny, what the fuck did you do over this weekend? Why did your arm broken this time?" It wasn't like, "Oh my God, did your parents beat you?"
Is everything okay at home, little Timmy?
Right? Are you feeling? Do you feel safe at home?
Do your parents cater to your emotions?
Did you tell your parents something they got completely upset with you? It's okay to tell us. This is your safe space, Johnny.
Oh my
Our
God.
safe space. Tell us anything you want in our safe space here. You're fine.
Yeah.
Fuck a safe space.
Yeah.
Seriously. Kids are not going to learn. Kids are not going to be strong. They're not going to have the mentality to survive in a cruel world if they have a safe space. You have to witness drama. You have to witness hurt. You have to witness physical pain
Absolutely.
in order to know what it's like and experience it and to live through it, so you know not to do it.
Yeah.
I got punched by fucking Tommy because I said the wrong thing to Tommy. Guess what?
Yeah.
In my lesson, I'm not
Mhm.
going to talk to Tommy this way because if I do, Tommy's going to fucking knock me out.
Yep.
Maybe I need to change the way I talk.
Yep. Instead of fucking putting little Tommy in fucking to juvie, no. You're a little shit. You were popping off at the mouth. Tommy put you in your spot, and you should probably have learned.
Right. A virgin
fuck
after
up.
being hit by Tommy in my day. Fuck, I'm sorry, man. Go home. What happened to your eye? I fucking told Tommy his mom was a fat fuck and he punched me. Well, you
Right.
fucking deserved it. Go to your room. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Did you
It's
learn anything today? Yeah. Don't tell Tommy his mom's fat.
Where you going? Now
Yeah.
that in today's world,
Tommy gets sued. No, Tommy's parents get sued. They lose their house. Tommy's in fucking juvie, or like he's up for adoption.
right?
Like, I don't know.
It's now fucked.
They
All
moved
because
Tommy to fucking Kenya out of nowhere.
little Joey who got socked by Tommy's in witness protection because they're afraid for his life.
Oh my god! All of a sudden, little kid that gets beat up is a girl,
Right.
and
Little
now it
Joey
turns
now
into a
wears
whole different thing because now Tommy's beating up fucking girls. God damn.
oh shit. Welcome to the Mark G show, folks. Oh
Entertainment
man.
purposes only, folks.
Yes, entertainment purposes only. Do what you want with the information, but I bet you 90% of the people that listen to the show do agree.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, I mean, it's so funny how we've gotten so fucking weak. It's so funny. And it's scary at the same time because we were just talking about this with the new military that we're pruning here with their easy safe cards when they're downrange. They don't get yelled at anymore when they're downrange being trained. Like I don't know. I'm waiting. I want to confirm that. I got a friend of mine right now who's in boot camp for the Marine Corps. He should be back. Matter of fact, it's Caleb Allen. Shout out to Caleb for joining the Marine Corps. I'm sorry you're gonna get that fucking shot though. But he should be back in about another.
I thought I thought they got rid of that policy.
I'm hoping they did. I'm gonna ask. That's another question I'm gonna ask him when he gets back. I think he's got like 2 to 3 weeks left of boot camp, and then he'll be stateside again. He'll be home. He went for the reserve, so when he gets back, I want to ask him about that. I want to ask him, compare and see if they have completely pussyfied. I'm hoping they haven't for at least for the fucking Marine Corps. I know the Army they have because I've talked to someone who went through the Army and they've completely pussified the Army. Like if you feel like you're getting PT too hard now in basic training, you can throw up a little easy card and they will tell you to go ahead and relax. Go ahead, take a breather. We never had that, dude. We fucking got ripped up by our fucking back of our fucking shirts and they'd make sure our arms were up and then tell us to push again. And if we were saying we were too weak, they'd let go of our shirt and let us face plant into the fucking floor. Oh, it's brutal. And when you're in the war room and there's like 3 inches of fucking sweat from everybody combined on that floor and you face plant in it, oh, it's salty. From the sunset sweat. I'm just saying, I've fallen face flat into that floor. I'm that guy. I'm that guy that fucking almost died. What felt like I was dying. I wasn't really almost dying, but I felt like it.
Well, you didn't, so
right. I didn't. I'm alive to speak it today.
Right.
But no, man, it's funny. This Chinese spy balloon, I'm be curious what we're going to see throughout this year. I'm curious to see if there will be this new virus that comes out to, as we get near close to elections and everything else, to see if a new virus or something pops off that will change the elections as we know it. Will we see that? Will we see an attack on American soil? Is it possible? Here we go. Yeah, let's go back to Alex Sharp. Now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, Alex, let's talk about that. You're saying World War III is coming. A lot of people are like, oh, but war cannot happen in the U.S. because of our military, because of this. There's a couple of different scenarios, right? War doesn't physically mean boots on the ground. Not at all. War doesn't physically mean boots on the ground. There's cyber wars. there's power wars. Can you imagine if an EMP hit the United States, knocked out power to all the United States citizens?
It
Think
wouldn't be good.
it wouldn't be good because neither will our military nor will our government officials be able to protect the American people at that time. They
Yep.
wouldn't have to protect the American people from foreign invaders. They would have to protect the American people from the American people. You are going to have criminals coming out at that time, raping, stealing, killing. You're going to have law-abiding citizens trying to protect their properties. There will be death and destruction throughout the United States. Not military, not law enforcement, not police, fire. Anyone was going to save at that time, because at that time, if a situation like that is happening, the country falls because people are trying to defend themselves and people are trying to defend their own families. Firefighters going to go home to their families. Police officers going to go home to their families because they're trying to protect their own. That is one way to go ahead and take out the United States. And EMP will simply do that. You got something to say? I see you.
No, my ship is
Oh.
blurry.
So, there's that way. Now, if you want to talk about boots on the ground, people are like, oh, but you got to get them over here. I hate to tell you this, folks. There's people here already. They're waiting for that phone call. They're waiting for that brief message, whether it be an event to pop off, for them to be activated. They are called sleeper cells. We have them here in the United States. Yes, some of them do get busted by the FBI, the ATF, and so forth. But there are sleeper cells out there that do skate by, that do not get caught. They are there waiting to be activated. And here's another thing that's very scary. Remember I was talking about the internet, talking about how kids are drawn into it? Your neighbor's kid could be part of that sleeper cell and you don't know it. Why? Because there's stuff's called a deep, dark web. Think about some of these kids that get bullied, that follow into this deep, dark web, and they just learn. They have terrorists on their side, feeding them this manipulating information, and makes this kid hate America. And you would never know it because the kid will act normal on the outside. But once they're behind that computer screen, they're getting fed all this information. And now that child or that young adult has now formed into the sleeper cell, and they are now waiting to be activated by the terrorists. They
Low
do
key
not-
getting brainwashed.
Exactly. So there's different ways to attack the United States versus bringing boots physically on the ground. Surrounding the west and east coast of the U.S. Alex
That's
Sharp,
what's happening right now. That is happening right now. There's
Yes.
submarines off the coasts.
yeah, we do have a Russian submarine off the east coast right now. I didn't hear anything about the west coast. I knew there was a Russian submarine off of the east coast. It's not fully here yet, but it was diverted. It was supposed to head to Africa for war games, and it's diverted itself towards the east coast. Right? Things that make you say, But should we see anything? Folks, here's the thing. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. There is nothing we truly can do to stop it from happening. The only thing we can do now as Americans is get told by the left that we're conspiracy theorists and preppers. I honestly swear, if you can, prep now while you can. If you can get yourself canned goods, some rice, listen, you don't have to go fully crazy. If you want, great. But listen, the price of food is fucking ridiculous. I understand if you can't go crazy. Get enough to at least last 30 days in your home. That gives you time to purge if anything does happen. 30 days worth of food and water to get you and your family by. Batteries for flashlights. Buy yourself, go to use on Amazon. Look up this radio on Amazon. It's Baofeng, Baofeng. Get yourself a couple of Baofeng radios. They are technically they are a radio that you require a license. I can't think of the name of that type of radio. It's not a CB. It is a what is it they need a license for speaking the radio? I can't. I can't remember it. And a lot of people are like, you can't have those. You don't have the license. I'm like, listen, I'm not using them for that. I'm using them for if shit ever hits the fan. I've got communication. I just can't think of the name of it right now.
It's a radio.
Ham radio. Thank you, Cara. Yes, a ham radio. Baofeng is a ham radio, and you can buy a 2-pack of these for like $35. I've got.
No, they're like $70, $90. Oh, there's 2 of them right here for $30.
Yeah. The Baofeng basic ones, $30. 30. You don't need really expensive ones. They make no fucking difference. I got 15 of these radios in my house.
Do
I've
you
given
really?
one. I do. I've given my son 2 of them over for when he moved out, so he has some. And we got him down our basement, fully charged, ready to rock and roll. I've actually used them when I used to spray the school systems.
And how far is the range?
It's like a good mile and a half. They're really not that well. But in shit ever hit the fan, this is how you and your family can keep in communication.
Hmm.
Because ham radios, CB radios, those are the only things that are really going to be working at that time. But if you get an EMF, you're kind of fucked regardless. But they operate off
Put
of
them in
that,
a Faraday box if you get a Faraday box.
right? Yeah. So the only time prep and YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, Democrats, you're gonna hate me when they say this to people. Buy your guns, buy your ammunition. You don't need much. Listen, you don't need an arsenal. You really don't.
But if you do, it's a good thing.
Oh, it's a beautiful fucking thing. Listen, get yourself a rifle or two for hunting or defense. Because if shit ever does hit the fan and you got to flourish for food, you are going to have to go out there and get deer, bear, whatever you can, bird, fucking eat it yourself, a fucking rat of the sea, get yourself a seagull or two. You're going to eat whatever the fuck you can. But also for defense, because a rifle's got more stopping power typically than a handgun. But also get yourself a few handguns. Cara Moore says, I got a crossbow. Oh, shit. We got a Daryl in the house. What's going on, Cara Moore? If anybody doesn't,
Crossbow's legit though.
crossbows are nice. Crossbows are nice. That's the one thing
Yeah.
I don't have. I got my guns. I ain't got a crossbow. Different kinds of arrows. Yeah, see, I don't know much about the crossbows, but that is dope. But no, it's just, in all reality, folks, the time is to prepare. It really is. Will we see something soon? There's a possibility, and I do believe we're going to see something happen before the elections fully come up. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it'll be another virus. I don't know if it'll be a world conflict that the U.S. gets involved in. But I honestly think before this next election, we're going to see something big, and it's going to have a play with the election. And that is where you need to open your eyes. So mark it today. We're going to put it down. I'm going to do what Dan Bongino does right now. Okay, folks. So what we're going to do real quick is I'm going to look over here. All right. So today is Sunday the 5th at 11:49 p.m. Mark my words. Mark it on the calendar. I told you from this day that something will happen between now and up to election that will have a play into the elections that will either A, make them not happen, B, make it so Biden stays in, or C, makes it so it forces people in a way to go, oh my God, we're not going to survive unless Biden remains president. Those that's what we're going to see happen. Whether it be a virus, some type of world conflict, could we possibly see something like another 9/11 happen on American soil? Could we? We haven't been fully safe from it. We could possibly see something like another 9/11 happen. That's not out of the realm. It's really not. So, no, it's not. So, like, people need to think about that. Where we're not out of the woodworks yet. And I think we're just now starting the ride.
Yep.
We're just now starting the ride. We warned everybody from the get-go about the Biden administration. We warned people that the Bidens and the Clintons were shady as fuck. But people on the left wanted a big, bad orange guy out. Let me tell you, I'm not even all for big, bad orange guy that you guys like to call him. I'm not. I'm all for American people. That's why I liked Trump originally. That's why I voted for Trump, because Trump at that time, I'm going to say at that time, was not a politician. He was a businessman, and we needed him in here to clear the swamp. We don't necessarily need Trump reelected, but we could use somebody who's really not a politician to come into and as a presidency and stir shit up. But will that ever happen? Probably not, because look at our history. We've always had either a Democrat or a Republican come into the presidency. You don't ever get an independent. You don't ever get a oh fuck.
There's no green parties. There's no independent. There's no third party candidate ever.
No, never. So, and that's the most fucked up part. Those that played the wolf game understand. Gotcha, Kara. I don't play the wolf. Bubble shield activate. I don't even play the wolf game. Is Obama running again? Well, I'm telling you, I think Obama's currently running this presidency. Cara Moore, I think Obama's FaceTimes and video chats to freaking Biden almost every day and gives his opinion. Everybody thinks that there's a video out there. You can Google it where Obama said that he would not want to be president where he sits inside the White House again. But if there's a way for him to be a president at home and play puppet master and just have his information fed to somebody else to do his dirt deeds for him, he would do that. So look for that video and let that sink in and look at this presidency.
Yep.
Listen, Obama knew how to word things. Obama was a speaker. I did not agree with Obama and a lot of his things, but he was a speaker. The guy knew how to make words work.
Yeah, he's a wordsmith. He's just very presidential and charismatic.
Right. But I would say that for this next presidency, I would love to see somebody come in who's not really a politician to clear up the swamp and take it out. I'm not saying that I would love to see Trump. And, a lot of people would, but that's because Trump did do a lot for these people. They saw something in him and they believed in him. They wanted him to have that second term. So I can kind of get that. They want to at least have him finish out his second term and be done. And I do agree with the Republicans as well. There is a bill on the floor to limit the terms in the House, which would be phenomenal. I think that would be great for America if we do limit the terms, whether it be like a 4-year, 5-year term for everybody in Congress as well, and then rotate them the fuck out. Lifelong politicians is not the way to go.
Not a fan of it.
No. But listen, man, everybody, it is like almost midnight my time. These podcasts are being ran later than usual because, like I said, I am working 7 days a week now. So it's quite different for me. But, at the same time, it's like 12, 11, 10, 9 p.m. Gary's time. I'm literally going to have a midnight snack, and I think all I'm doing is heating up a plate of chop suey and going to watch a show or two before I go to bed. There's no way I'm doing TikToks because my tush is hurting from sitting in this chair. I get my new chair tomorrow, thank God. Nice. So with all that being said, folks, I appreciate everybody tuning in. This podcast will be uploaded on Apple, Spotify, Google, Amazon, Alexa, all that good stuff tomorrow morning when I have my coffee. This is always on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Anytime for you, gentlemen. Please, as always, share this out. Smash that like button wherever you're watching us right now. And if you can, share out the video. The more people that learn about the show, the greater. We are trying to get more interactive with me saying that. I'm going to be doing Twitter Spaces the next time as well, because I think the more people see us keep pulling up Twitter Spaces, we're going to get people eventually active. So if you don't have a Twitter, create it now. Make sure you follow the Mark G Show on Twitter. So that way there, when we do Twitter Spaces, you can jump in and join in the conversations. Listen, I love talking to my brother. Don't get me wrong, but I would love to hear a new voice coming in.
Fuck you, Mark.
I know. Fuck you too. I would love somebody else's opinions as well. So make sure y'all come in. Have a good day. All right, Carmore, appreciate you. Have a great day as well. Take care. Stay safe out there. And we'll see you in 2 weeks when we record again. For everybody else, I appreciate y'all tuning in. I am going to hit this with our outro. Gary, as always, hang by till the end of the show.
Yep.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate y'all. We're out of here.
You've been listening to the Snowflake Melter, the Mark G Show. Mark is your everyday hardworking business owner that loves America, and he certainly doesn't mind telling it like it is. We hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure to like, rate, and review. To send an email, it's on air at themarkgshow.com. And find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at The Mark G Show. See you next time.